So are you present? In this moment, are you present? Ever noticed everywhere you go, there's constantly people on their cell phones? I'm an avid coffee drinker, so I frequent a lot of the coffee houses here in town. And the one thing you see is there's people, lots of people, all together, but not. Most are just sitting across from each other, looking at their cell phones. And I'm sure we're all guilty of this, but when we don't engage in the present, we miss so much. Even people dating these days, you'll notice they'll be at a nice restaurant, they're dressed to a T, they're sitting across from each other, and what are they doing? They're looking down at their screen. A few words back and forth, maybe picking at their meal a little, and then they're right back to their darn cell phone. I think it's pretty sad. When I take a girl out and she's looking at her phone all the time, I'm usually not paying for a second date. I recently saw on LinkedIn that the average person checks their phone over 2,600 times a day. And if you're a power user, over 5,400 times a day, which is insane if you're not doing some sort of work with your phone. I touched down in '86, so I grew up in the '90s and early 2000s, and the internet was far from what it is today. Most people didn't even have cell phones. You had to make the most of what was going on right in front of you. Unless you were reading a book or watching TV or something, you were enjoying the moment as it was. You were connecting with people. People seemed like they were way more in touch with reality and their surroundings. I see life as an experience, and when you're not present, you're missing the beauty of it. I have a friend, and I've noticed that when she's not at work, she is living her best life. On her Snapchat, I see all the time that she's going to concerts, she's taking trips, she's hitting the beach, and she's spending time with friends and family whenever she can. And that's the part where I think technology comes in great in our lives, when we can use it to capture the moment. If you know me, you know I like to go to a lot of concerts. Best believe if I pay $500 to see someone perform, I'm recording some of those memories. Okay. I'm also big on trying new restaurants and reviewing the food. So yeah, I am that guy that's gonna snap a picture and put it on Snapchat or Instagram when I have a great meal. But even in those activities, I'm 100% engaged in what I'm doing in the moment. It's so easy for people to get distracted these days. I used to be an avid chess player where I would play at least 2 games per day. And in those moments, what would help me is just cutting out everything. Complete silence, just focused on the game and the win. And when I'm able to focus and really zone in on what I'm doing, it gives me so much success. And I try to apply the same strategies to life and work. Some of the things that help me when I'm on a date or I'm out with friends is I just put my phone away. It does not come out unless I'm capturing the moment. Clearly, this channel is about career strategies, and so if you know me, you probably realize I had a hard time detaching from work for many years. But in 2023, I decided to have more of a work-life balance. So when I'm out, unless it's an important call or I need to take a note of something, my cell phone stays in my pocket. I honestly think when you're hanging out with people, you should treat your time just as valuable as you do when you're at work. If you're a good employee, you're not hanging out on your phone, you are 100% focused on the task at hand and paying attention to every element of it to execute it greatly. And I think that's the same way it should be when you're hanging out with friends or on a date. If they're not valuing your time, then don't let them waste it. For those of us that work at home, I know it can be super easy to get distracted. One of the things I do is I have a separate profile on my computer dedicated just to work. Now I know most companies will send you a computer, but I'm a Mac guy and I knew my company was gonna send me a PC. So I chose to use my personal computer, but I have a designated profile just for work. So all this video editing and career strat stuff is done on my personal profile, but then I sign right over into my work profile and they don't overlap. That helps me stay focused on the job that I'm performing for the day. And I've mentioned this one before, but another powerful tool to help you stay focused is blocking your time on your calendar. In sales, we have what's called the golden hours. And so from a certain time frame during the day, we block out all communication and any other meetings, and we're just focused on prospecting. We don't deviate. And if you're an iPhone user, hey Apple, one of the things you can do is set what's called focuses. And so I'm not going to list them all, but you can get highly detailed with these. So some of the default ones are going to be do not disturb, personal, sleep, and work. But you can get even deeper with that, and you can set them to driving, reading, gaming, just to name a few. And another thing that really helps build rapport and presentness in relationships is letting the other person know that you heard them. By being in the moment and practicing active listening, you're going to build stronger bonds and remember things better. It's definitely something I'm trying to get better with myself, but with active listening, acknowledging what the other person said and repeating a little bit back to them will let them know that you really heard them and that you care about what they're saying. And if your memory sucks, well, write it down. I haven't read this book yet, but I am really anxious to get into super communicators. I've seen a couple of Charles's interviews, and I can tell it's going to be a great book. So I'll let you guys know what I think of it once I do, but this could also be helpful in keeping you present and helping you build relationships with your friends, family, and people at work. And one more thing that helps me be present is being observant. Now, this is definitely something I need to work on as I'm more focused on the people that I'm around and what they're doing rather than my environment and the elements around me and the objects. But take in the beauty of creation sometimes. Driving through the mountains here in Arizona, or when I'm off on vacation and I'm in San Diego and I get out to go see the sea, it is amazing. It can really help you connect with reality and what's going on around you. Even just hearing like the birds chirping and watching the squirrels run around can be a beautiful thing to get you away from just always being stuck in that digital world that seems to have taken over. I had the opportunity to go whale watching one year in San Diego, and it is just the most serene thing. So take a moment to take it all in. It is definitely worth it. Time is valuable, but not unlimited. So be present. Don't miss what's happening right in front of your face. If you need help keeping a winning mindset, check out this one right here. And if you found this advice useful, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.